Well, friends and family, it has been a year. In fact, a year to this day that I started the Carnivore Lung Journey video channel. And not just that, but it has been a year that I started the carnivore diet in an effort to see what the benefits would be to my overall health, not just with weight loss, but also how it would affect me with being a person with pulmonary fibrosis. I can tell you it has been quite a journey. There have been a lot of ups and a whole lot of downs also, and not necessarily because of the carnivore diet itself, but just life. And if you have pulmonary fibrosis, if you have a lung disease, then you understand what I'm talking about. And in fact, if you're new, if you have recently been diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis or a lung disease, first let me tell you, I'm sorry that you have received that diagnosis. But welcome to the PF Warriors Club, where we continue to fight every single day, not just a fight to breathe, but the fight to survive. If you have pulmonary fibrosis, if you have lung disease, you understand the side effects that come with not just the struggle to be able to breathe, which I'm doing right now very well, praise the Lord, but also with the fact that there is the, how would you call it, depression begins to set in. You begin to feel the negative effects of you're no longer the person you used to be. Things you used to be able to do so well, you struggle to do now, or you're unable to do at all. But I want to tell you just a little bit about what has happened over the last year, especially with beginning the carnivore diet and then stopping from the carnivore diet. So where do we begin? Well, like I said, a year ago today, I started the carnivore diet. I started it out of a necessity because I was sick and I was just having all sorts of problems. That let me just tell you what has been happening. So I was 234 pounds when I started the carnivore diet, and over the course of about 2 months, I dropped significantly my weight to about 203 to 202, and it was a healthy weight loss. I was an incredible amount of energy. I was able to sleep better. Uh, the snoring, that I was doing, which was so bad, the snoring and the jumping around in my sleep, and all the things that really kept my wife up. She was unable to sleep, and just because of wondering, okay, am I breathing? Because I would stop breathing, and then the incredible amount of noise I would create just from snoring, and then also just not being able to lay still. The carnivore diet was a tremendous benefit. I highly recommend it. And in fact, I have started it again, oddly enough, yesterday, which was okay, a day before the full 1 year anniversary. I did stop the carnivore diet, and it was through falling off the bandwagon, whatever you want to call it. Uh, I had lost my job, and that was a huge hit financially to me and my family. And so with that, I lost my insurance, the health insurance, health benefits, unable to pay for my medications. I told you about the OFEV that I was taking. You may remember me telling you the cost of that OFEV. A 30-day supply of OFEV was $11,000. That's just one pill out of a whole bunch of pills that I was required to take. So when that happened, I did lose a lot of my self-confidence. It hurt to see the financial impact that was taking place, especially with the way that the economy was going also. It was just depression set in pretty heavily. Not just that, it happened right around the time that summer was beginning. So it was kind of that transition from spring to summer. And I had felt so good and felt so strong with the carnivore diet, which I was doing during the winter time and during the cooler months. So that also contributed to me feeling better and being able to do more because I didn't have to fight off the heat. And again, if you have a lung disease or pulmonary fibrosis, heat is a, how would you call it? Heat is a form of kryptonite for us. It's horrible dealing with the heat. I was no longer able to do the things that I was doing, so I thought maybe, okay, this something is happening. I'm getting sicker again. I'm reaching that 3 to 5 year uh, end of life expectancy that we often see associated with pulmonary fibrosis. And I was on, well, I'm on year 5 now. So yeah, it was horrifying to think of what was happening. That really threw me off my my focus, and things started to get bad, as far as emotionally, mentally as well. Dealing with the financial issues, whatever. You understand what I'm talking about. There's just all these external um, issues that all of a sudden become more in focus. You're more in tune to them because of the condition that I was in. Okay, so I'll speak for myself here. The condition that I was in mentally and emotionally, all of the negative influences were really taking a toll, and I put on weight. I felt the I always forget how to say this word, the lethargy or the lethargy or lethargic. I felt like a sloth, and all of a sudden I was needing to take naps again. I couldn't get up in the morning. All my energy was depleted, and a lot of it in due to stress. You know that stress is, what is it, the cortisol that builds up, and then you begin to get inflamed, and you no longer feel like you have strength, and the weight comes on, and then that just begins a vicious cycle that continues and continues, and every day gets worse and worse. Over all this time, I've had talks. My wife is my champion. She's always there pushing me, and she'll tell me if I'm not living up to a standard that she knows I'm capable of doing. She would constantly remind me, you remember when you were on the carnivore, how much energy you had, how much strength you had, your self-confidence, everything was positive, and I let the loss of that job really take a hold of me. I mean, I did. I got really concerned because I couldn't take my medications anymore. Couldn't afford them. I couldn't go and see my pulmonologist. I couldn't get lab results. I couldn't afford to do any of that. And so fear set in. And anytime I would have some kind of regression, or if I would have a really bad day with breathing, I would think, okay, this is it. Um, my pulmonary fibrosis is progressing bad because I can't afford my medications, because I got laid off. And it was just a vicious cycle of negativity. But praise the Lord for my wife and my family, who just completely supported me and got me through a difficult time. You're going to have these days. You're going to have those times. You have to be able to if you're going to have a pity party, because I had plenty, if you're going to do that, do it, get it over with, and then get back to fighting every single day. I mean, there's just something about the morning that brings new mercies and always feels so wonderful. And my wife and I, we have our coffee in the morning and we have our discussion. It's our alone time together, and we talk and just it's always a wonderful time of encouragement and prayer. But over the last couple of weeks, change has taken place. There has been a turnaround in my life. I am seeing things in a much more positive way. I am back on the carnivore. And in fact, I even got me a new exercise machine. You can hear I don't know if y'all can hear that. My grandkids are outside playing, and that always brings joy to me too, to see my grandkids and they tell you, I love you, Popo. And so, it's amazing. Praise the Lord for that. When I got out of the hospital, and I had spent 72 days in the hospital, very, very sick, very, no muscle, no nothing, muscle atrophy or whatever you call that. I started physical therapy, and I use this machine called the Total Gym. Most of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you may not. It was a brand that Christy Brinkley and Chuck Norris would promote, and I just kind of thought, well, it looks neat. It looks like something you could do, but man, there's no weights. What kind of workout can you get with it? Anyways, doing the physical therapy, I spent a lot of time on the Total Gym that they had because it was such a low impact and I loved it. Always wanted one. They're expensive. They are expensive. Could never afford one, but I got one. I finally got one. You need to see my video. I'm gonna where I do a review of it. This is not the Total Gym with the Total Gym brand. This is the Temu website purchase from China. Um, the price, I talk about it, and I tell you I'll tell you right now, just a short thing. The price on it was $210. Okay, that was a stretch to buy, but made the purchase. And when I made the purchase, the total at the end of that purchase was only $160. I thought, oh man, did I choose the wrong thing? Did I choose the wrong size or a different product or what? No, turns out they gave me $60 off their advertised price on Temu. I got it in the mail. I put it together. You have to see my video. I love it. I wake up with it. I do my exercises. I did my exercises this morning. It is, for me, it's amazing. So it's one of those things that also, when you can exercise, you feel better. You also release a lot of tension and a lot of stress, just doing some exercises. And low impact is the way to go for me at my age and my condition. It's necessary. It's what I got to do. But at least I'm doing something and not just laying up in the bed and feeling sorry for myself, which is very easy for us to do, us PF warriors. So anyway, listen, this is the introduction. I'm going to try to continue to do videos. If you need prayer, message me, and my wife and I will pray for you. If you need someone to talk to, message me, and I'll try to talk to you and give you any kind of encouragement, or if you have any questions about what I've been doing over the last 4 years with pulmonary fibrosis, then I'll be happy to talk to you as well. God bless you, and I hope you'll continue to watch. All right. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.